In today's Meta Monday episode, I go over yet another rogue build that utilizes some older cards. That's right, we're going to war with the Dark Knight and the Brigade of Misfits, Brigade Knights. While I did go over this theory build a few sets ago, I did also make adjustments for this very aggressive format. Because of this, it's another fun build that can catch your opponent off guard. And if you enjoy these types of videos, do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell for more of my future content. As always, I'll go over the card by card, the strengths, the weaknesses, and the combos. This deck runs 5 level 2s, 16 level 3s, 13 level 4s, 4 level 5s, 4 level 6s, 9 option cards, and 4 tamers. For level 2s, this deck runs 1 BT2 Sumemon and 4 Pagumon, arguably the best baby Digimon for black decks. Keep in mind, Missymon can only be useful, but only for Digimon is D-Brigade in its type. Sumemon is better utilized for the plus 2000 DP buff, especially if you get multiple Commandromons on board or the Dark Knight counterparts. Remember, you'll want these bad boys up for quick security checks. For level 3s, this deck runs all Commandromons, 4 from BT3 for its cheap on-play cost, 4 from BT4 for the Recruiter effect, 4 from BT5 for blocking, and 4 from the starter deck. Not any substitutes for this build except maybe Chumon, but honestly, for D-Brigade, you'll want to focus on just these. For the secondary engine, this deck runs the Skull Knightmon and Deadly Axemon package. All these items except Grumblemon are 4 cost and useful for Pride Memory boost. Deadly Axemon searches for your Skull Knightmon Cavalier Mode, and Dark Knightmon himself. Cavalier Mode provides jamming or temporary blocker, which helps especially in the Imperial Dramon matchup when they try and chip with their Vmons and X-Vmon. Skull Knightmon can help you free climb into Dark Knightmon and swing for not just 1, but 2 checks. Deadly Axemon can provide you the DP buffs for your Dark Knightmon to survive. And lastly, Grumblemon. Grumblemon is the only one that can't be played off Pride Memory boost, but is typically used for the endgame and saying hybrid for game. For level 5s, Dark Knightmon is the sole level 5 Digimon to use in conjunction with the Skull Knightmon engine. And while Dark Knightmon can get deleted in security checks, it can also play the Skull Knightmon and Deadly Axemon underneath it suspended without paying its memory cost on deletion. Because Cavalier Mode also counts as either of these, you can play this Digimon as well. And of course, Deadly Axemon's on-play effect procs, allowing you to cycle through and find more Skull Knightmons, Skull Knightmon Cavalier Modes, and Dark Knightmon himself. For level 6s, this deck runs the 4 copies of Dark Dramon. This counts as another D-Brigade target outside of your Commandromon. When playing this with a memory fixer, you can gain 2 memory back for every D-Brigade that you place on top, up to 5 from your trash to make the total memory cost 3. This is another alternative finisher if you don't draw the Grumblemon. No level 7s are in this build for the fact that Omnimon's Word Defeat was considered. However, in the present format, you don't have enough time to go into Dark Dramon and then into Word Defeat. Meaning if you draw into it, it's not in security and has little to no value. I currently don't suggest any level 7s for the fact that this build is purely aggro. Moving to option cards, this deck runs 9 in the form of 2 Ultimate Flare, 1 Iron Fisted Onslaught, 4 Pride Memory Boost, and 2 Dark Side Attack. Pride Memory Boost is the primary option card to play for this deck to build boards. Remember at 3 memory, with a memory fixer you can choke your opponent at 1 with this card to fill your trash with D-Brigades and then play any of your Skull Knightmon, Cavalier Mode, or Deadly Axemon. The remainder of your option cards are for different matchups that you might be facing. Iron Fisted Onslaught is generic removal for higher cost items, considering Dark Side Attack only hits Digimon of 7 cost or less. This card is particularly useful against certain Digimon early game, X-Vmon, Gatomon, and puts your opponent back while you build big to swing for game, pending they don't have option cards of their own in their own security. Ultimate Flare for those higher level Digimon, personally de-digivolving that Imperial Dramon to Vmon and eliminating the threat altogether. There are a wide variety of option cards for black to use, but if you want to branch out to other colors, you'll need to splash a stable color source, like a Tamer. Finally, 4 Tamers in the form of 2 Izzy-Azumi and Izzy-Azumi and Joe Keto. Izzy-Azumi is a guaranteed 3 memory cost for the fact that every card in this deck is black, meaning you'll always be able to choke your opponent to 1 going second if they simply evo to a level 4, for 2. Izzy Izumi and Joe Keto help with providing extra 2 memory if your opponent builds wider boards, and also lets you draw a card on your opponent's turn if your black Digimon is deleted, further expanding your hand resources. Strengths and weakness wise, the major strengths you have is a lot of searchability in the deck. But because of this, Izzy is crucial to help determine what cards to play and when. You may bottom deck potentially needed cards late into your game. Likewise, you'll also be telegraphing a lot of information to your opponent. Matchup wise, Imperial Dramon is a 50-50 matchup depending on the variant your opponent is running. You can build very wide boards, but if your Digimon is bounced, you lose out on many of its on-deletion effects. Mastamon decks have DP depletion effects that can wipe your board constantly. Ultimate Flare can touch Mastamon, but against Lucemon Chaos Mode, it can be a round of attrition. Yellow in general is this deck's worst matchup. Black War Greymon likewise can just beat over your Digimon. But overall, this deck is more of a fun, casual rogue build. Combo-wise, this deck will go over the Commandramon aspects, then the Dark Knightmon aspects. For Commandramon, your rookies are devoted to the Commandramon line, meaning your best way is to Digivolve into a Commandramon from BT4 and playing Izzy Izumi turn 1. By using Izzy Izumi, you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and reorder them in any way that most benefits you. In the example shown, say you reveal Izzy and Joe Keto and Deadly Axemon and Dark Knightmon. Because you revealed no Commandramons, you'll want to stack the guaranteed cards you want on top in a way that most benefits you. By placing Deadly Axemon on top, you can draw this card on your turn when you push out, play it, and guarantee grab Dark Knightmon while cycling through another 3 cards. Once you have an idea what cards might be in the top 3, you can swing into security, and if BT4 Commandramon dies, you can play more. But if you revealed multiple Commandramons on the reveal, swing away. When it comes to Dark Knightmon's line, you can simply Evo into Commandramon in the Raise and Pride Memory Boost. This will pitch potential D-Brigade cards into the trash and play any of your level 4s that have a play cost of 4. Playing a Skull Knightmon lets you go into a Deadly Axemon over your Commandramon. If you have the Dark Knightmon in hand, you can swing with Skull Knightmon to proc, removing all the Digivolution cards underneath Deadly Axemon to Digivolve this Digimon and Skull Knightmon into a Dark Knightmon for free. And now you get Security Check +1 and plus 2000 DP on your Dark Knightmon. If Dark Knightmon is deleted, you can play both Skull Knightmon and Deadly Axemon from the Digivolution sources, suspended, and activate Deadly Axemon's effect to search for another Dark Knightmon to Digivolve into, again. This deck goes for aggressive and cheeky checks. Your opponent's focus will be to remove your bodies whether they are using option cards or swinging in with their own Digimon. What are your thoughts on D-Brigade Knights? This format might not be the perfect time for you to play it, but I do think it's a very fun build to play in your locals if you're wanting to play something casual. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is Digi-Panda, logging out.